All right, I think we
Hi,
are live.
Sophie.
Are we
I
live?
think we
Yeah.
are. I'm going to
Yeah.
go to Facebook. Okay, everybody, I'm going to start this way today. If you're new or if you've been here many times, I'm going to have the chat open. So if you want to join us or comment or ask questions, I'll be watching, and it's really sweet to have you here. So thank you for being with us on Mondays. Hi, Sophie.
Hey, darling. Darling, we have this seminar starting on Saturday, right? Called
Yes.
the A World at Peace through the Feminine and the Masculine. So I thought we will talk about the feminine and the masculine to give a test to people. And then if they want to register, if you put the link of the seminar underneath,
Yeah.
then you have 5 days to register, right?
Yes. And I think it's really timely, Sophie, because a lot of people know the terms, especially divine feminine. It's in the culture. People are talking about the divine feminine rising, but what does that mean for the culture and for ourselves and for our relationships? It's a timely seminar. So we would love to have you, and we're going to talk about it today so you can get a taste.
Yeah. So let me start by sharing about myself, right? So I am very at ease in the feminine. It's like for me water flowing. It's like the ocean, the feminine. I'm quite at ease. So when I fell in love and got married, my husband we were very balanced. He generated the masculine, I generated the feminine, and I was quite happy. I was frankly not even aware that I could generate the masculine myself, right?
Yeah.
But we had this kind of couple that was so cohesive that there was a masculine, the feminine, and we had a great 7 years because those two energy merging together gives you the unity and the peace and the deliciousness of being one, right?
Yes.
And then my husband died. And then I had to take care of his business and 4 children and money and lawyers and stock exchange, the whole thing. I had no idea. I was 28. So I generated an energy that I didn't know, which was harsh, dominating, controlling, no emotion. And I discovered later on it was a masculine ego.
Wow.
Right? And frankly, it nearly killed me. But I mean, I spent years in that energy. It was really difficult. And then one day, not one day, but throughout my training and my life, I got to study tantric yoga, and I got to discover that there was the conscious feminine and the conscious masculine, and there was the unconscious masculine and the unconscious feminine. So that discovery brought such a peace to my life, because it was even better than when I was with my husband, frankly, because I now had the full range of the energy available to me. I knew the feminine ego and the masculine ego were something I didn't want to go to. But I now discovered the masculine conscious and the feminine conscious, and I could play with both at will, depending on the circumstances of my life. So suddenly my life became richer.
Wow.
And that was one of the biggest discovery in my path to consciousness, is that we have in our society no education on the feminine and the masculine. We really associate the feminine with women, the masculine with men.
Yeah.
And yes, you have some masculine in you or some feminine, but the gender is always there, close by, right?
Yeah.
Not only there is that mistake, but the other mistake is to not know the very symptoms of using and twisting the feminine or the masculine towards survival.
Ooh, that's a big deal.
Yes, because that's the world we have.
Survival.
Yeah. You know, like anything, right? If you can take anything that is beautiful and twist it into unworkability. And the world we have, with all the conflict and the difficulty, is just a lack of education. Because the feminine and the masculine energy, which is the source of life, this is the fabric of life. This, you can find the feminine and the masculine in everything in life. If you do not know and get an experience of this energy and recapture the power to dance with this energy, then you will stay in survival.
Mm. Wow.
So it's like playing piano, right? Or a musical instrument. For me, the feminine and the masculine is the nectar of life.
Wow. That's so beautiful.
Mm.
You know, Sophie, you taught me early on when we started working together. We have a story that we love, which is that, you know, we'd be working together and I'd be, oh, we're working on this. And what about the color for this? And how about the images for that? And then one day you were like, okay, we're picking flowers. We need to just put some structure. Okay, we're going to talk about this, and then we'll talk about this, and then we'll talk about this. And that was the first time that I felt, you know, the feminine is lovely. The space of creation is fun and free and flowing. And putting some structure around that space, which is that masculine energy, right? Actually generating that masculine energy around that creative space actually allowed us to create something much more profound, because we would say, okay, we are just writing the text for this course right now. That's it. We'll do pictures later. We'll do whatever later, you know? And it allowed us to expand fully into that space because I wasn't going here and going there.
Yeah.
So that was my first lesson in feminine and masculine.
To explain to everybody, right? The feminine conscious, and we're not talking about the survival here, right? But the feminine conscious is all, it's like I said, it's like water, right? And the masculine conscious will be the container. So if you want a very simplified image, the masculine conscious is a glass and the feminine conscious is a wine. Okay.
Visual.
Right. Yeah, you can't have one without the other. Okay, so when I was working with Abby, we were doing the structure for our web page, right, or our site,
or
or
courses,
something
building
like
the
that, right?
courses or something. Yeah.
So you imagine yourself being on a path, and what you're doing is you're doing the structure of putting on the internet in a website your programs and all that. And Abby, while we were doing the structure technical, let's get that done, was what I call picking flowers. So in the middle of deciding, which link to people will have to click to go to that page, Abby will suddenly go, oh, we have to talk about love. And then we have to we love so hard. Stop picking flowers. So
stop picking flowers. Yep.
And you see Abby now, when I say that to her, she just goes straight like, oh, yes, structures, right? And we got a lot done.
Yes.
But that's what people don't know, right? So you can listen to this story, Abby, and people will think, oh, the feminine is all about picking flowers and dancing under the moon. No, not at all.
Yep.
The intuition and the creation of all our courses,
yes,
is full feminine energy.
Yes.
Right? The people, the big entrepreneur in our world, like that design cars or computers or whatever, you'll see who I'm talking about, right? Started first with a feminine conscious, having the idea, the creation, then use the masculine conscious to make it happen.
Yes.
Right? So why, as a woman or a man, would you deprive yourself of mastering playing this instrument.
Oh,
That I don't understand, right? Like, no, you really do want to learn, which is very simple. Like everything I teach is totally simple. You
Yes.
really want to teach, to learn about the feminine and the masculine conscious, and how you learn that is by realizing the turn we took to use those two energy for survival. And that's why it's the possibility of a world at peace, because once you experience the feminine conscious and the masculine conscious, it is everything you ever dreamt about. Everything. It's only love and beauty and altruism and generosity. And you want to be a great human being, just go and learn about the feminine and the masculine conscious. So
thank you. That
that's
was such
what
a
there is
beautiful
today.
description.
Yes. So it starts Saturday, right? At 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 hour and 15 minutes. It's recorded. What else is there to say about the seminar?
I think that what I feel called to say, which is not about the structure. I'm going quickly into the feminine. I'll be right back to the structure. What I just feel like I need to say, I'm picking a flower over here. Quickly, I'll be back. I'll be right back. Is this really will alter your personal life. Like, it's easy to talk about it in this big and beautiful way, but for me it has, even just being able to say right now, like, I'm going over here and I'm coming back to the structure. It's life altering because it allows you to put that in place in your life with your children, in your partnerships. And I'm gay, I have a wife, right? It's not gendered. It's the experience of knowing who's holding the masculine and who's holding the feminine. And there's, and being able to work with that on a day-to-day basis has changed my life and my relationship a lot. So I felt like I just wanted to say that it is life altering for your personal life to understand how.
All right. So I'll give one secret before we complete, right?
Yes.
All right. Everybody, if you are in a couple and your sex life is a little bit lacks passion, the only way to maintain the passion in making love is to learn about the feminine and the masculine conscious, because it is only the union of the two that gives you access to the divine. So there is a little self-interest there.
Yes, absolutely. That's also a good motivation for joining.
That's right. That's right.
All right, before we go, let me check if we have anything in the chat. Okay, I don't see anything in the chat. If you folks have questions later, just put them underneath. I'm going to post the link. And once again, it will be 4 Saturdays in a row from 3 p.m. to 4:15 Eastern. And it's conversational, these seminars. Sophie teaches, and there's also questions and conversation. They're really, really fun. So we would really love to have you.
And by the way, the only people you see in the recording is Abby and I, right?
Yes,
Everybody
right.
else, you do not see your faces. We do this focus thing.
Yep, we spotlight on the speakers, so you can have total freedom to say and ask anything you want, and then you still have some anonymity, which is really great.
All right, Abby, we gave it all. Let's give it away and see what happens. Everybody, we love you. Be well, and speak to you next week.
That's right. Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Love you. Bye, Sophie.